Alright everybody, this is a quick video on how to bulk import leads into Salesforce. So the first thing you will need is a CSV file of sorts or an Excel spreadsheet with your data. And the data usually consists of a first name, a last name, a location, an email, and a company. So what you see here is just a little snapshot of a small file that's put together of various leads. You will notice that first name in that left column, column A, is designated by F name. It's easy enough to put first name or last name. This is just how this file came. And there is a fix to this when you go to actually apply it into Salesforce, depending on which column headers you use. So what you're going to need to do is go into your Salesforce homepage and navigate to the Leads tab, which you'll see designated by that purple arrow there. And you'll actually be clicking on the Leads word, not the drop down. Once you're there, typically it'll jump to your recently viewed leads. In this case, you'll see that we didn't have any. There are many other ways you can view it, but what you're looking for is that import button designated by that purple arrow over there. Once you hit import, we will designate, since we went into leads, it will be designated as leads, but you may have other objects that you might want to address. So for our case, we're doing leads. I'll go ahead and click that, and you'll see where it says, what do you want to do over here in the middle. So we have add new records, update existing records, or add new and update existing records. Typically, you'll just be adding new records. If you have any overlapping ones, it will take the input information and update those accordingly if you hit update on either one of these. But we're going to stick with add new records here. Once you click that, it's going to say match lead by. And what we're wanting to do is, do we want to match it by name, or do we want to match it by email, or perhaps there's another option it might give you. We're going to choose email. The reason for that is because there might be multiple John Smiths, but emails will be designated much more uniformly as an independent identifier. You can also assign new leads to this source, or you can assign all leads using an assignment rule if your company happens to have assignment rules. As far as basics go, we're going to ignore those two, and we're just going to go ahead and hit match lead by, and we're going to use email. And you'll notice that it's swapped to email here. And what we're also going to use is a CSV file. It may be worth mentioning to make sure that your file is a .csv file. When you go to upload it, you may get errors if you decide to upload various types of Google Sheets or things like that. So make sure it's a CSV file. Once you have it, you'll have a choose file option, just like most Windows operating system uploads go. So we'll go ahead and hit choose file and locate your file. For character code, you're probably safe using this ISO 88559. There may be circumstances where you want to change that, but go ahead and try to run it that way to see if there's any issues. If there's not, go ahead and move forward with it. And values will be separated by comma. That's what CSV file will stand for, is comma separated value. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and select our file. In this case, I have it called leadlist sheet1.csv, and you'll notice it is a .csv. And for here, it's in my downloads folder. Once I have that, I've selected my file, I can go ahead and hit next, and you'll see at the top you just have kind of a map here, and we're almost into edit mapping, and then eventually to the start import. Once you get to edit mapping, what this means is that it's going to take all those columns in your file, and it's going to try to associate specific fields in the Salesforce objects. In many cases, it automatically is able to figure those out. So you'll notice our CSV header is the second column, and city will automatically go to city, although I have the freedom to change it if I wanted to. State would automatically go to state. Email will go to email. Company will go to company. So if they're named properly, it works really well. But you'll notice for our CSV file, we had F name for first name and L name for last name, which Salesforce couldn't quite figure out where that goes. So what we need to do is actually map it accordingly. And to do that, you're just going to go ahead and select these two map icons here. Once we do that, you'll get an option, a list of options as to how do we want to coordinate these two field names. So it says map your field. My field was called F name. Again, that was the first column of that file for first name. All I have to do is find the first name field in the list here, and I go ahead and select it and hit map. And I'm going to go ahead and you'll see all of a sudden it's first name here. A very easy fix for that is if you have a standard file template that you use to upload leads, is instead of using F_name, just change it to first name, and Salesforce is usually able to figure that out. And then we have to copy that same process over for last name or L name. So I'm going to go ahead and type, or here we have L name, I'm going to go ahead and find the last name, hit map. And now we're good. You'll see F name associates to first name, L name associates to last name, and we can go ahead and hit next. Once we have next, you'll see all my fields. There's 6 fields, and all of them are mapped. If I left any unmapped, which might be the case, you may have data sources that have information you don't care about or don't want in Salesforce, and you may leave those unmapped, but they'll be listed here. So once I go ahead and hit Start Import down at the bottom, it'll say, congratulations, your import has started. This does not mean you're done with the import, but it means that it is at least underway. And finally, you go back to your main page. Once you're completed, it'll go back to the bulk data load job detail page. And what you're looking for is progress to be 100%. That means that it is completed. And hopefully, all the records that have been processed, which was 30 in this case, there were no failed records. If there's a failed record, it just means that for some reason, one of those data points did not associate in Salesforce correctly and therefore did not upload. There could be a number of reasons for that, but what you want to pay attention to is which ones didn't and perhaps why. In this case, we were good to go and we are done. So this is your process on bulk uploading leads into Salesforce. This will save you a whole bunch of time. If you're on a sales team somewhere and you go to a conference and gather a whole bunch of leads, you can import them this way. If you're rummaging through Google and collecting leads, you can also bulk import them once you have them in that Excel spreadsheet. Anyway, I hope this was of help, and we'll be posting more videos shortly.